Lavita Alizé Jenkins, aka Terri J. Vaughn, is back on our screens. She the People, now streaming on Netflix, was created by Tyler Perry. Now, you know I whack Tyler Perry every chance I get. I do. I really do want Tyler Perry to give us great work. I do think that the 6888 was great. Was She the People a good show? Okay, I just want to say that I was super excited to see Terri J. Vaughn return back to our screens, but because this project is attached to Tyler Perry, I have doubts. But I'll get into it later, whether or not I thought this was a good show, whether or not I thought Tyler Perry did a good job. Okay, so She the People, starring the legendary Terri J. Vaughn, whom we know from the Steve Harvey Show and How to Be a Menace to Society While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, South Central. It is so good to see her back on television. We also get Jo Marie Payton. We know that Jo Marie Payton is the iconic Harriet Winslow. So great to see her back as well. I loved her in this show. We also have the very funny, the very talented Jade Nova, who plays Shamika. Okay, She the People is about Antoinette Dunkerson, who is running for lieutenant governor in Mississippi. She is receiving more heat and harsher treatment, of course, because she's a black woman running for lieutenant governor. She's a divorcee and now a single mother who co-parents with her ex. She has a nerdy son and a terrorist daughter who pushes her to her limit, bitch. You hear me? Antoinette is running for lieutenant governor, but she is hood as fuck, so don't play with her. And we learn quickly where she gets it from, because her mother is always ready to fuck shit up too. As big of a mess as her life can be, she manages to clinch that seat for lieutenant governor because people relate to her. They see how real she is, and I love to see it. Sidebar, when it was announced that she secured her spot and the news anchor said, "This shit's gonna be interesting," I died. Oh my god, I died. After securing her spot, she starts to have self-doubts, but thankfully she has her mom there to encourage her, and thankfully mom was high because according to Antoinette, it's the only time she makes sense. Now that she's lieutenant governor, she has to work with the governor, who is part of the opposing party. And yes, he acts just like the way we all expect him to pay and all bitch. Pompous and degrading and misogynistic. And not just him, but his team are all assholes. She and her family end up moving to the governor's mansion that's old and covered in Confederate flags and ancient furniture. They're also sending her out on these whack-ass assignments, one being pig calling. She was contained to certain duties because of her skin color. She deals with some of the crooked behind the scenes shit in politics, like the pipeline. Okay, now let me say this. This was a funny show. Okay, I think that the concept is there. Yes, we have a great concept. I think that Tyler Perry, or at least some of his concepts, are good concepts. However, I don't think that he always needs to be on the writing team. I think that it's okay to come up with the concept, be the producer, be the director, okay? And sometimes, girl, even hire a different director, all right? Hire different directors. But have the concept or present that concept to a writing team and have them do the writing, because Tyler Perry, like every director, every writer, has a writing style. And for Tyler Perry, it rarely works. It used to back in the day with his older films, but now I feel like he's gotten really sloppy and really lazy. Take Shonda Rhimes, for example. Shonda Rhimes is behind shows like How to Get Away with Murder, but she was not the writer. It was Peter Nowak. So she hired writers, she hired directors to bring these concepts to life, but her name was on it, okay? It was her baby. And I think Tyler Perry needs to do that. When it comes to She the People, I think a lot of it was very corny. I think there were a lot of loose ends that were not tightened up by the end of this, this is the first half of this season. And I think that it just, again, it gets sloppy at times, the writing. And I really was excited to see Terri J. Vaughn and Jo Marie Payton back on the screen. but I don't think it was executed to its fullest potential. Now, again, I do love this concept. I love it a lot. You know, having this black woman run for lieutenant governor was a great idea. But even some of the comedy, like there's so many iconic black classic comedies over the years that were not corny, okay? And I think that some of the comedy here was just very corny and very lackluster, all right? You have Martin and Living Single back in the day, even Family Matters and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, it was good comedy, good black comedy, and it felt real and authentic and not just full on satire. So, I wanted more from this show. Again, I will always support a Terri J. Vaughn. I will always support a Jo Marie Payton. But Mr. Perry, girl, I'm going to continue to whack you until you bring some more writers to the table. You want to do everything, girl, and you can't do everything, okay? You are past that. Bring some young, fresh, talented writers to the table and let them bring these concepts to life. And on that note, let me know what you think in the comments.